Hello, my name is Julie Kanturek, and I am the current president of Wheaton Drama. Recently, we held our 2020 Colby Awards. The night differed greatly from how any of us imagined we would celebrate this annual event. I certainly would have preferred to spend a wonderful evening gathered with everyone at Playhouse 111. But regardless of our individual roles at WDI, recent events in our world have forced us all to adapt to many unexpected and unprecedented challenges. However, in spite of whatever challenges may come our way, we theater types all know, better than anyone, that the show must go on. So, it is now both my honor and my privilege to personally welcome you to our celebration of the offstage people who made the magic on stage come to life. Please enjoy this recording of the 2020 Virtual Colby Awards.
We're so delighted to honor all of you, so excited,
united,
and hope that all of you will feel invited,
spotlighted,
to join us as we highlight all the great stars.
We know who you are.
Those production folks who make us all shine bright. It doesn't matter where we are, we celebrate our Colby stars. We all are fine designers, we practice every day, and patrons come from miles around when we put on a play. Such costumes and scenery and all the onstage greenery, cut hem, straight pin, scale, drawn, test, pen, paint, cut, paper plates.
We all are fine technicians, we practice every day, and patrons come from miles around when we put on a play. Such lighting and sound effects and screws and paints and dialects, backlight, crosslight, creaky thing box, painted all in grays. Backlight, crosslight, creaky thing box, painted all in grays.
We're props and movement gurus, we practice every day, and patrons come from miles around when we put on a play. There's dancing and combat, sometimes an old stuffed wombat, swordplay, tour jeté, ripe bananas are okay. Swordplay, tour jeté, ripe bananas are okay. Swordplay, tour jeté, ripe bananas are okay.
We do the organizing, we practice every day, and patrons come from miles around when we put on a play. There's SM and AD and ASM and MD. Get the actors set, get the band in tune. Learn your having lines, cover places too. Get the actors set, get the band in tune.
Right,
Learn having lines, cover places too. Get the
Backlight,
actors set,
crosslight,
get the band
creaky
in
thing
tune.
box,
Learn
painted
having
all
lines,
in
cover
grays.
places too. Get the
Backlight,
actors set,
crosslight,
get the band
creaky
in
thing
tune.
box,
Learn
painted
having
all
lines,
in
cover
grays.
places too.
Tonight we thank the folks on scene supporting every play. Projections, tickets, photos, hair and makeup every day. And programs, publicity in front of hospitality. Backlight, crosslight, creaky thing box, painted all in grays. Backlight, crosslight, creaky thing box, painted all in grays. Backlight, crosslight, creaky thing box, painted all in grays.
Swordplay, tour jeté, ripe bananas are okay.
The actors set, get the band in tune. Learn your big lines.
All right. All right, guys. So I got it. I can clean up again.
It is said that one candle loses nothing by lighting another. The Candlelight Award is presented in this spirit to recognize individuals who best represent the giving spirit of community theater. And this person epitomizes all that and more. She has done a great deal of work both on stage and backstage, most frequently as a stage manager. She previously served a term as president, after having been a member for only 6 years, and she has continued as a valued consultant in developing bylaws language and long-range planning, utilizing her expertise in nonprofit organizations. When life events prevented her from remaining so involved on stage and backstage, she found other ways to serve on the membership committee and as the chair of the artistic committee, including for the current season of difficulties, only to have everything put on hold due to, well, you know why. In spite of that, she has willingly accepted the role of artistic chair for another year. She continues to support the Board of Governors by helping with bylaws review, drafting a lovely letter to solicit donations from our patrons, and with an unending willingness to help out however and whenever she can. Her dedication to our theater is obvious, steady, and greatly appreciated. As members, we are all blessed to share her warm and bright spirit. Wheaton Drama proudly presents the 2020 Candlelight Award to Debbie Trueblood. Now, I'd like to introduce Dan Hitzman, the director of The Addams Family.
Good evening. I'm very proud to be here this evening to talk about our production of The Addams Family and to recognize a fraction of the people who made this such a wonderful time for our audiences, a success for Wheaton Drama, and an experience that the cast and crew will keep in their hearts forever. I wish we could all be together to celebrate these people and to hug our friends, but for now, I'll settle for some words to convey my love and respect for these, my Addams family. A thank you to Pat Daly, my producer. We made a great show. The Addams is at its core about family, and it started with mine. My cousin Brian was our production designer, but he lived in Minnesota. We needed someone who could take his designs and make them a reality. That's where Marty came in. He took up the mantle of construction lead to interpret the plans. Marty took the plans and turned them into a stunningly beautiful reality. From the house dome, which rose above the curtains, a functional rack, exploding birds, a bubbling coffin, mausoleum gates, rolling mirrors, to Pugsley's bed of nails, Marty made the imaginative practical and doable. From his steady hand on mentoring of the crews to late nights working and getting yelled at by his fiancée because she couldn't park in the garage because there was a roof in there. Marty made our Addams vision a reality. This first Colby Award goes to Marty Zeurmeulin, construction lead. Our next award winner became an Addams through no will of her own. When first assembling my team, I met a bright young lady who was very interested in being involved in Wheaton Drama and costumes. So when you need guidance and have someone who wants to get involved in costumes at Wheaton Drama, you talk to Susan Hajny. I went to Susan, who agreed to help mentor this lady and to assist our production. As time went on, we learned our young lady had so much on her plate, including planning her own wedding, that Susan needed to take over. And she stepped in and took charge. She was an Addams through and through. And I should have listened to her a little more often than I did, especially on the it wigs. But time and time again, it was Susan coming through and giving us the look and feel we needed for our show, caring for our actors to make them look their very best. So this Colby is for the person who made us look like Addams. Thank you, Susan Hajny, for all of your wonderful work. This next Colby is for the hardest suffering Addams of them all. I'll let you in on a secret. Tech Week was a serious mess. Our designer was in from Minnesota painting everything. Set pieces were not finished. Production changes, scene changes, fight rehearsal, dance warm-up, props, dry ice, exploding birds, puppets, and a set designed to fit a backstage twice as big as what we had available. Tempers flared, tears were shed, but above all, Bruce and Julie pulled it all together and made our wonderful mess a runnable show. With Bruce's eyes on safety and Julie's eyes on timing, they kept our show safe, humming, and constantly amazing our audiences night after night. They kept the ship steady even as I kept creating bigger and bigger waves. They gave our family a home, and they welcomed us there. This Colby goes to the hardworking, long-suffering stage managers, Bruce Ebner and Julie Kanturek. Our next recipient is a blessing from above. I cannot dance. Oh, I can shuffle and do a few moves and fake it as well as anyone in the chorus, but I have no concept of the art of dance or how to make it look wonderful or how to convey to an audience the power and grace of the movements or how to organize any of that madness. I called Katie Smith and she said, Kate is the person you want. Boy, was she ever. Kate is a constant source of joy and energy. Oh, and Kate, I need a dance with a 6-foot balloon. Oh, and Kate, the opening dance has like 20 different dance styles in it. Oh, and Kate, I need a tango for Ken Kaden. Kate not only picked up the ball, she transformed it into something so stunningly beautiful it took your breath away. Her ballet with Fester and the Moon will forever be seared into my heart, with its use of sign language to send that all-important message of love to all our audience members. That is our Kate Adams. We are humbled, blessed, and amazed. This Colby goes to Kate McEvelyn. Being an Adams means being true to yourself and living the life you want to live with great passion and love. Death is just around the corner. We didn't know how true that would be at the time, but it means we live each day being the best us that we can possibly be. Adams is about all of that, but ultimately, Adams is a musical, and musicals need music. Adams needed someone who would embody that love and embody that music with the love and the soul that this show deserved. This show got more than it deserved. Amy was the musical soul of our family, from helping the lesser singers get the most out of their talents to helping our seasoned vets bounce it off the back walls, conducting a 12-person orchestra on a floating postage stamp with a conductor who danced the entire 3 hours while conducting. Amy shared my vision and my purpose. We showed grace and we worked to be the best versions of ourselves that we could be. We asked the same of everyone who worked with us, and what we got back was the best versions of everyone on our team. Amy was a shining example of that passion and dedication to the idea and the very soul of being an Adams. So this Colby goes to our musical soul, Amy Brockman. My last Colby Award was simple. 1,500 individually painted and glued plates. An arrow guided by love through the apple of our show. Leah was everywhere and everything I could not be. As a first-time director at Wheaton, I was new to how all this was done, but Leah was my constant, my North Star. When all around me seemed impossible, Leah would take the steps needed. And yes, it meant hundreds and hundreds of plates. Late nights with notes and thoughts, extra time with the cast and crew when I was preoccupied elsewhere. Leah was my general, my encouragement, my shoulder. From deep conversations on the nature of community theater and inclusion to moments where you just needed someone to say, don't worry about that. I got it. I would have been adrift, and our family would have never been as close, crazy, and wonderful as it was without her. So for my rock, the other half of my Adams brain, this Colby goes to Leah Witt.
Our other special awards category this evening is designed to recognize the efforts of other individuals who have gone above and beyond on Wheaton Drama's behalf, but may not be eligible for main awards or show Colbys because they, A, are not members, or B, may have been paid for their services, or C, they are members who were called out by our membership and or the committee for special recognition outside of the established categories. Our first special award this evening is presented for her outstanding work as an ASL American Sign Language interpreter for each of our shows. The energy she brings to everything she does, for her team-oriented approach, and for her, well, overall fabulousness, we proudly present the She's Got the Whole World in Her Hand award to Patti Kaden.
The award would not have happened because if not for Gretchen. I mean, we're a team, and so I share the award with you because without you, share. Contact list. Yeah, because she's the reason I'm me. Thanks, WDI.
The Bill Hamilton Award is presented to a WDI member who quietly goes about doing things that need to be done, which are seldom noticed but crucial to the running of the theater. One person comes to mind who fills this description perfectly. Having served on the board previously, she continues to support the board in roles that are invaluable as assistant treasurer and our resident ticketing expert. She supports Jim Vandevelde in his role as treasurer, stepping in for him when he is out of town. She adeptly manages much of our ticketing, including dealing with ticket line calls, changes, cancellations, gift certificates, refunds, and vetting new ticketing services when we learn that Sabo is going out of business. As a membership chair, she runs committee meetings, organizes social events, keeps our handbook up to date, and manages our rosters for the Directory Spot app, and our members-only Facebook page. Additionally, she keeps our member and patron lists up to date in Constant Contact, our communication tool for email blasts and mailing lists. She regularly sends letters to donors thanking them for their donations and even provides refreshments for monthly meetings whenever asked. She has been and continues to be so generous with her time and energy. We owe this soft-spoken person a debt of gratitude for her quiet service behind the scenes. Wheaton Drama proudly presents the Bill Hamilton Award to Eileen Gilligan.
For her generosity as a non-member who has arranged music, helped with staging, managed video, developed graphics, and both for Merry Mad Mid-Mod and this Colby Awards celebration, Wheaton Drama is proud to present the You Are the Music in Me Award to Kathleen Dooley. Congratulations, Kathleen. I am pleased to present the director of Moonlight and Magnolias, Doug Long.
Hi, I'm Doug Long, and I have the pleasure of directing Ron Hutchinson's Moonlight and Magnolias, which opened last November at Wheaton Drama. Tonight, it's my honor to recognize some outstanding members of the Moonlight and Magnolias production team. Let's start with Don Dumper, who designed the set and built much of it. Don created an Art Deco producer's office that was based in part on David O. Selznick's actual office, but more stylish. The raised platform for the massive desk was the central visual metaphor for Selznick's power position in the story. Don never said, "We can't do that," and he found or made every door, every window, every nook we needed. Don was deservedly recognized with a nomination in the first annual Lou Awards. And Don, I'm glad to honor you tonight for your excellent work. Don's set was the base for the wonderful set decoration by Barb Giblin and Susan Carr. They filled the walls with authentic Selznick movie posters and movie star headshots, and filled the shelves with the kind of elegant books and artwork Selznick would have picked up along his career. If a chair needed reupholstering to read his period, boom, it was done. I had a ball working with Susan and Barb. and was constantly impressed with the way they made the set feel like David O. Selznick's office. Some of the practicals in their set decoration worked their way into Jim Vandevelde's lighting design. Jim was one of the people who knew this theater well and was able to help me consider the possibilities of what we could do. From the brightness needed to enhance the comedy, to the effects for time of day, or the fade on Selznick at the end of the show, Jim was able to accomplish all the lighting effects we needed. And remarkably, during our rehearsal process, the theater was gifted some lighting instruments from Wheaton College. Also new was the projector used by Andy Kanturek in our projection design. Andy was willing to try anything. We incorporated the screen dropping at the beginning for a 1939 slideshow, and he created Hollywood outside Selznick's window, the burning of Atlanta when Selznick imagined it, and the overhead crawl of Gone with the Wind at the end. Thank you, Andy, for your open mind and your creativity. Creative work was also done by Jim Quan, whose sound design included period Hollywood music and voiceovers for the playwrights Ben Hecht called. He worked in a clever Walter Winchell pre-show talk performed by Ben Dooley, Jim Quan's Tara's theme and Jim Vandevelde's Fade to Orange worked together, along with Sandy Ogren's timing, to make sure the Miss Poppingull as Scarlett O'Hara moment worked. Thank you, Jim, for finding and creating the right sounds to make this play pop. Speaking of popping, thank you to Bruce Worthel for all your work on the fight choreography. The challenge of having the three guys try out the way Scarlett should slap Prissy was not a small one. It's at the climax of a sleep-deprived battle and involves quite a bit of hitting amid slippery banana peels and peanut shells. It has to play as believable, yet be completely safe, and also be funny. You earn the actors' respect and empower them to pull it off every night. Thank you to all of you. In my first experience working at Wheaton Drama, I found all these people very professional, and even more important, found them to be good people who supported each other toward a common goal of creating a successful production. Special thank you to Mike Boyna for making sure I had everything I needed, to Tom Walker and Amy Johnson for helping run efficient, creative rehearsals, and to the actors, Chris, Sean, Jeff, and Sandy, for your wonderful talents and dedication. Thank you to the whole Moonlight and Magnolias team for taking a deep dive with me into 1930s Hollywood and sharing your talent and enthusiasm with audiences. Thanks.
The Icon Award is presented to people who have been dedicated to WDI for over 25 years. It's in gratitude for their long-standing and impactful service. Even if you haven't been lucky enough to see her on stage, you've surely seen her choreography for both main stage productions and children's workshops. Her artistic skills have graced our theater on many gorgeous sets, which she has helped to paint and decorate. Time after time, when our collective backs were against the set deadline, she was part of the team that stepped in and got the job done. She has served on the WDI board as president and vice president. As part of her most recent board service as sales governor, she dealt with sponsors and grant applications to support our theater financially. After completing that term, she assembled a strong ticket team to replace the irreplaceable Denny Jameson. And she still provides support as ticket chair and handles many of the ticket phone line calls. She has been involved in both the leadership and support roles for over 25 years. And we are grateful and honored to present the 2020 Icon Award to Barb Giblin.
In a year like 2020, this individual probably deserves more than one of these awards. As president, she's always had her finger on the pulse of WDI, and then she takes it several steps further, including maintaining contact with members who may have difficulties during this crazy time, or driving 15 miles to a member's house to pick up things for the sidewalk sale because she had a vehicle that would carry them. She participates in Zoom webinar sessions with several state agencies regarding COVID relief and also for accessibility. Having sat in her chair, I know how challenging the presidency can be in normal times. To fight through all the extra pressures of 2020 with the grace and patience she has shown is why we are proud to present the It's More Than a Job, It's Family Award to Julie Kanturek. And now to present the awards for Merry Mad Mid Mod is Director Pam Turlow.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Wheaton Drama. Hello, Colby people. And just everybody who's tuning in Zoomland today for a little bit of Colby love for Merry Mad Mid Mod, a holiday extravaganza. Where did it come from? Where was the idea? Well, we did Mad Mid Mod musicals in 2014, 2015. And then Steve Schroeder and I went out to have a little bit of wine on Valentine's Day of 2019. And he's like, well, you should maybe do a holiday show. You should put in for that Merry Mad Mid Mod. And there it was. And so it is. And so, of course, we had to still go ahead and do the show in Steve's honor, really. And it was a great success, and it was a great fundraiser and an amazing time. So here we are, and I'll be giving out some Colby Awards today. Your little stand-in Colby actually belonged to Steve. I gave this to him when he was my AD for the first show. So there we go. So, yes, thank you. There it is. All right, here we go with Colby's. Before we give the actual awards out, I do have to thank two very important people to the production. First person, Kathleen Dooley, the goddess Kathleen Dooley, who did our music direction, taught everybody their music and their parts, and then did all the orchestrations and the recordings. Most of the recordings that you heard were done by her that we sang along to for the show. And she is just a powerhouse, and we love her. We love you, Kathleen Dooley. Thank you so much, so much for adding so much to the production. And the other person that I need to thank is the person who took over for Steve, was my AD, wrote most of the show, and was the star of the show, my wonderful hubby, Ben Dooley. Here.
Hi, Chance. Hello.
Here.
Hey.
There he is.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. That was.
I think you kissed me right here.
Go.
That's a thing now.
We're on
I don't
time.
know.
Go.
Okay. All right. So here we go with the Colbys for Merry Mad Mid Mod. And by the way, with the Halloween behind me, I guess that, we're ready anytime you are for the bride of Mad Mid Mod. I'm just saying, it's just, ooh, scary. All right, here we go. So our first Colby Award goes to the amazing, the wonderful Bruce Ebner. He was our stage manager. He carried along the whole show on his sturdy shoulders. He's really the glue that holds everything together. We love you, Bruce, and we thank you so much for all you gave to the show, for being there, moving things out, moving things in, harps. You helped move out the harps. A harp, all the way up, all the way in. You're awesome. Thank you so much. You give so much to the theater. You gave so much to our show. So for that, I give you La Colby. La Colby. There you go. Second Colby. Now, Bruce is the Batman. Well, who's the Robin? That would be Jake Harrison Murphy. Jake Murphy. He contacts me. How can I help out with the show? And I'm like, we got stuff to do. And you know what? He did stuff. He did everything. He did a little bit of this, a little bit of that, moved out that harp, moved these things out, props, whatever. He was there. He was there, and he added so much to the production. So for that, I thank you, Jake Harrison Murphy. All right, next up we have who added the tip tap to the top of our choreographer, Katie Smith. Katie Smith did an amazing job and was also an extra pair of eyes. She was also in the show, and she was also an extra pair of eyes for me to kind of, give me some feedback on the scenes that I was involved in. So it was very much appreciated. And she did the choreography for choreography. The White Christmas choreography number. She did it, and it was just like in the movie. So for that, Thank you so much, Miss Katie Smith. All right, next Colby. Wheaton Drama is so blessed to have Susan Hajny, who will find these amazing vintage pieces and bring them to you for your show. So you will look like you really are in a snapshot from 1970. And there it is. And that's what she did for our production. Found wonderful things. Made me look good too. With that suit, the cocktail suit. Ooh. So for all that you do, your incredible eye and attention to detail, this Colby goes to Susan Hajny. Susan Hajny. Looking good. Next up, for props and also for being there when we had a little bit of a medical situation that came up. The amazing, and she's so heart-centered. She is such a good person, and she just gives and gives. Jody Gosain. Jody, thank you so much for all you did, and you stepped in during production week when there were a couple little scary moments. So for that and all that you do and props, wow. Thank you so much, Jody Gosain. Jody Gosain. Okay, next up, the indefatigable, is that how you pronounce it? Indefatigable, Craig Gustafson. Craig Gustafson was in the show, wrote sketches for the show, and then he designed these amazing posters that brought you into the world of Sunny Day, the lead character, who was patterned after Danny Kaye, and he made these posters that looked like actual Danny Kaye movie posters, and I still have them, and when we move, I'm going to put them up on the wall. Okay, so for all that you do, Craig Gustafson, being that wonderful, indefatigable person that you are, here's your Colby. Thank you so much. Whoops. Okay, before I knock down everything, our last but not least Colby Award recipient is the beautiful, wonderful Morgan Dietkes. I went to her house. She brought out tubs of Christmas vintage decor and said, "What do you need?" And I came home with all this amazing stuff, and it was true vintage, and it added that extra, that pop to the set. So for that, I thank you so much. The beautiful, talented, stunning, wonderful Morgan Dietkes. Morgan Dietkes. The award arrives to you. There you go. So thank you so much, everybody. Be safe, be well. Stay positive, everyone. And yeah. And thank you, Colby people, for moving forward with this, because it was really important to do and to recognize everyone. So thank you. Many blessings. See you soon.
Howard would react now that this day has come. WDI hosted by COVID-19. What are we to do now that the theater's closed? Stuck in this hellish quarantine.
Now Moonlight and Magnolia's cast was very small, wearing masks and gloves just to protect. Slapstick from a distance is what we propose, and scrubbing bubbles on bananas to disinfect.
Not so close.
You're spitting on my face.
Not so close.
Stay 10 feet just in case.
Not so close.
I know it sounds morose.
Not so close. Not so close. Not so close.
Little Women was a song-intensive show. Belting would ensure the germs would pass. How could we keep all the older patrons safe? The entire cast encased in plexiglass.
Merry Mid-Mad podcast size was way too big. Potential to get sick could seal our doom. Please remember you need to unmute yourself as we perform the whole damn show on Zoom.
Not so close.
Don't want that stupid virus.
Not so close.
It's really not desirous.
Not so close.
The outcome is so gross. Not so close, not so close, not so close.
And let us not forget the Addams Family. The show would welcome COVID with its open arms. I'm filled with dread about this spread, but half the cast's already dead, so just relax. There is no cause for alarm.
Should each actor's face turn backwards for a starter? Should actors' funny lines be said on stage alone? Should the actors tangle from 6 feet apart? Or will the patrons just give up and all go home?
This is the moment when you have to realize. This is the moment when you cannot fantasize. This is the moment all we do is sanitize. Not so close, not so close, not so close.
The Jim Van de Velde Award is presented to recognize individuals who help out at Wheaton Drama nonstop. Like some of our other winners this evening, this individual received multiple nominations. She is a worthy recipient because for so long she has found ways to step up and help fill the organization's needs. She was our secretary for several years, continued on as Tyro editor at the expiration of her term, and is now serving another stint on the board. This year, she was a key coordinator for the sidewalk sale. She especially deserves this recognition because for the last few years, she has taken on the unenviable task of securing the theater's rights for all of our shows. The 2019-2020 season was an enormous undertaking, negotiating constant changes, persistent follow-up, and many, many moving parts, only to see, you know what, change everything after all of her work. She never complains or gets upset, just keeps going. She perfectly embodies what this award stands for, quietly and without fanfare, applying her "I can do it" attitude wherever and whenever needed. Highly organized and knowledgeable, she never makes it about her, but about WDI and what is best for all of our members. Wheaton Drama thankfully presents the 2020 Jim Van de Velde Award to Christine Pfenninger. And now I would like to introduce Kristen Wells to take us through the Little Women Awards.
Little Women, the Broadway musical, was about dreams and family. Right now, we're unable to come together as a chosen family at Wheaton Drama. And while I miss it very much, it was bittersweet to sit down and reminisce and write down some words about the folks we've given Colby Awards to this year. They not only consistently went above and beyond what was asked of them, but encouraged and participated in making everyone in the show feel welcome and valued. Many dreams, many hearts, many hats. May we meet again under the lights before too long. All present, all accounted for. Much love to you all. Thank you again to the production staff and entire crew for making Little Women a storybook come to life. The projections for Little Women were gorgeous and the result of a collaboration amongst nearly the entire design team. The illustrations, however, were truly something special. They beautifully replicated the feeling of paging through a really nice copy of one's favorite children's book and coming across a full-page, full-color plate. Magical forests, cluttered attics, all thanks to the steady hand and heart of Jim Martin. I'd be surprised if you weren't already aware of Jim's incredible artistic talent, but what makes his work on Little Women such an inspiration was how he wore that hat and then styled that wig, and then made up that face, and kept all our heads on straight by offering listening and guidance as our production liaison. Jim has a way of juggling everything with sincere kindness and a warm pragmatism that I could never master. Therefore, he has my deep gratitude and thanks for many jobs well done. Thank you, Jim. There is a scene in The Matrix where Cypher is sitting in front of all of his computer monitors, reading the ones and zeros in real time and seeing the reality they've painted. It takes a keen mind to hold information in one's head and organize it in such a way so that it's useful to others. Ruth Fink-Winter made sense of the intricate costume needs for a musical that travels through memories and imaginary places. Her detailed emails and notes were works of art. Her implementations of systems and processes had me swooning, no lie. But not only did she track every hanger, every goblin headdress, every shawl, but she easily joined the running crew backstage during most performances, becoming an essential part of the smooth scenery machine Bruce had orchestrated. This show was Ruth's introduction to Wheaton, and I hope it's the first of many more, as Little Women was all the more prepared due to her hard work and organization. Thank you, Ruth. Over a sushi dinner, I learned that our next Colby recipient was going to be on vacation for a portion of the Little Women run and was therefore unable to audition for a role. "Oh, it'll be fine," I probably said through a mouthful of unagi. "Just come see the show and we'll work together again soon." The fates sipped their sake and schemed upon hearing this. One actor we cast was unavailable for one performance, and Zach Gibson was going to be in town. He not only understudied the role, but learned ensemble movement, assisted with fight calls, ran props backstage on other nights of the show, and created a spreadsheet to keep it all organized, helped to lead our audience talk back, and generally leapt into action when a need presented itself. I need 10 minutes, but I only have one. Zach, you were essential, and you showed up with joy. Thank you. As I started production work on Little Women, I was just settling into a new job. I was at my very first regional meeting when a colleague came up to me and said, "You know, we have a friend in common." "We do?" She smiled and said, "Steve Schroeder." And because that means something, I hugged this near stranger and we almost instantly became friends. And then I discovered that she's good with a sewing machine, and that she'd seen and loved Steve in Hairspray, and that she's always wanted to work on something at Wheaton. And I needed a costuming team. Through a comedy of emails, Cindy Lonhart ended up in charge of costuming for Little Women, graciously and tenaciously handling everything I threw at her. Everything. She worked countless hours and braved every situation, from ripped seams to shredded patience, with a grace I can only hope to emulate. Thank you, Steve, and my endless gratitude to you, Cindy. Our next recipient made sure that we had the items we needed, often creating our props by hand. A lot of the physical things referenced in the show were meaningful and special, and Jody Gosain had just the right touch with every letter and manuscript that traveled across the stage. Even Beth's kite became iconic, echoing the color and the material of the costume of her character. She made sure we had everything ready to go and recruited Zach Gibson to assist for portions of the run. So much hard work, so many beautiful details. Thank you, Jody. The next Colby goes to the man who was pretty sure he didn't like this show until he happily admitted that he ended up liking it quite a lot. We all liked the hard work he put into creating and implementing the process for projections, allowing us to paint with light. His collaboration with Bruce and with Jim to bring the scenery, decoration, and illustrations together was something like modern-day magic. He was able to take spreadsheets and translate rows of cues into the layout and punctuation for our storybook story. Little Women ended up being a continuation of projection successes under Andy's lead, and our show was so much the better for it. Our show used 3 simple platforms, built strongly, able to maneuver tight corners, able to convey multiple locations and time periods. We already had a stage manager who was going to make each transition quick and seamless, but for a little while, we didn't have a set with which to make those transitions. Stage manager Bruce Ebner took on the additional responsibility of set designer, creating environments and keeping our budget small, while also managing the space with a big smile and well-considered no's and yeses. He always makes it look easy, but we want Bruce to know that we appreciate every hard-working minute he spent literally setting the scene each and every performance. Thank you, Bruce.
Our last special award of the evening goes to a creative, kind, and generous individual who has shared himself with us in a wide variety of ways. For example, in addition to his duty as vice president, he was busy creating puppets and doing scenic work for Adam's family, and while performing, rehearsing at Mel Beinecke. He also spent time before each performance applying makeup for many of the other actors. He says those makeup sessions helped him stay calm and focused before a show. We know that they sure helped the cast members stay calm and focused. More than one member has noticed that he happily has his hand in a lot of WDI pies. We are very happy to present the He is Everywhere award to Jim Martin. He's Everywhere award recipient.
I am very proud to be introducing the Rookie of the Year Award. According to director Dan Hitzman at the Addams Family auditions, tonight's winner sang the best darn rendition of Little Girls from Annie ever. Since then, she has helped in one way or another with each show, organized and taught the ASL workshops, volunteered for the Colby Committee, even though she had no idea what she was getting into, helped with cleaning the theater, assisted with the sidewalk sale, and nudged all of us into hearing the community to live up to our ideals of the inclusivity by connecting us with the deaf community. Wheaton Drama proudly presents the 2020 Rookie of the Year Award to Gretchen Gannon. Congratulations, Gretchen. Well deserved.
For this award, but Gretchen, you're just into Adam's family. You're amazing.
Congratulations, Gretchen, on being named the Rookie of the Year. Whether rookies or seasoned veterans, all of you contribute to making Wheaton Drama the place it is, a place we have all come to know and love. There are so many ways that people serve behind the scenes within our organization. As with most shows, some of these roles are major ones and others are much smaller. Regardless of the size of the role, no show would be complete without every role being filled. Likewise, Wheaton Drama would not be the same without all of the roles, large and small, that all of you fill around Playhouse 111. However, this evening is about recognizing those that have gone above and beyond in their respective roles. Each year, one individual is recognized with the Alice Burnham Award. This award dates back to 1979 when Alice Burnham was recognized by then-President Sonia Scheffler. Alice was honored for her invaluable contributions of time, skill, and energy, and for being the extra right hand of the president. So many of you make my job as president easier because of the many and varied roles you fill. When I think about those that contribute that extra measure, several types of people come to mind. There are those that lead production crews for our wonderful shows, many of you having already been recognized tonight. There are others that serve as chairs of various committees that are critical to our organization's smooth functioning. There are still others that serve tirelessly on the Board of Governors. Furthermore, there are those that plan and execute events that serve our members and our patrons. On their own, each one of these roles is critical to our theater's success. However, when a single individual fills all these roles simultaneously, that person is most certainly deserving of our admiration. This year's honoree has served multiple terms on the Board of Governors, served as production manager and stage manager for multiple shows, is part of the ticket team, and has strengthened our workshops and classes for both children and adults. On a more personal level, this person helped me with many practical issues of serving as president, teaching me how to use Wheaton Drama's Google Drive, serving as note-taker extraordinaire for virtually every meeting she attends, and playing Zoom host for our monthly membership meetings. And as if all that alone is not enough, just when her term on the board was nearing its close, she eagerly stepped up to chair the invaluable task force which is tackling many of the issues we face related to the pandemic. I cannot imagine our theater without this person, which is why it is my great honor and privilege to present this year's Alice Burnham Award to Elyse Willis.
We're so delighted to honor all of you, so excited,
United,
and now that we are through, invited,
spotlighted,
to hang around and party, dance the night away,
giggle, chat, and play.
drink as if we all were sweating in the lobby. It doesn't matter where we are, we celebrate our